Well, hello there, everybody, on this fabulous, fabulous Thursday. How are y'all doing? Yeah, a couple seconds early. Um, I hope you was listening to that Bonnie Raitt link. Good studio jam session. Johnny Lee Hooker, good music. Anyway, I digress. I didn't actually met Miss Bonnie, right? And she is just a true magical person. That's all I got to say. So welcome everybody. So good to see everyone. Hello, Nina. How are you, darling? Lori, good to see you. And Lynn, hello. Goddess, the Absent, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, good to see you, darling. Rick, how you doing? Incorrect. Mr. Floyd. And Brandon, I saw your question. So you were visited, huh? It happens. We go on. We really do. It's and some people come back. Time, I believe, in that realm is not the same time we have. It's questionable whether or not it has time at all, but the fact that we use terms like infinity, eternity, defines that time plays a factor even in the ethereal. So I'm curious though, Brandon, was it an interesting conversation? I mean, I believe these visits happen. Consider yourself, special, because you are, Brandon, as the rest of you all are. Good to see you. And may I speak favor over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Believe it, folks. We're going to talk about that today. I can tell you this. If you really got this, mastered it, you can change your reality within 24 hours. Truth is, once it's spoken and once that you are centered and understand it, really don't have any kind of doubt, it actually starts then. Wow. Isn't that what a God does? You bet your ass, because that's what we are. So, hello, Chloe. How are you? Tone, good to see you. S. Lee, what's up? Tetrahedrogrammaton. Yes. Definitely an interesting conversation. Felt as real as in the flesh. Yeah, brother. You were there. If it came to you in the dream state is probably more reality than this waking state, because you create it. It's amazing when you think about it. Hello, Gogo. Good to see you. Robert V. Good to see you as well. Hunter and London McLovin. How you doing? But you're in a different realm. If you think about your dreams, does time really play a factor? I can't say that it does. I don't know. And some, I guess. Yeah. Scott, what's up? Good day to see you. Good day, my friend. Off the hook. John Price. I dream several times a day. Yeah. And I know I'm speaking to a lot of us, but I probably most of us. The one thing I got corrected for more in elementary school, I was a daydreamer. You just can't keep us here, right? Yeah. And how many of y'all were daydreamers? I mean, I got my knuckles wrapped one time for that. Hurt like a bitch. Hey, Lost in Space, how you doing? Chloe, glad to hear that, darling. Grace, what's up? The dream state. Yeah. Always flying off somewhere. That's cool. Flight. Yeah. For the longest time, I didn't realize, what the wires always meant or how I was being pulled down, but I get it now. Cares of the world, right? we're meant to fly. I mean, isn't that what it's all about? When you die and you cross over, are you going to walk? That's the one thing I don't understand about, the paranormal and ghost and what have you. Why do they walk on floors? I mean, why are they walking at all? Does floors transport over into the ethereal? I mean, if they're coming over here, what is that? And footsteps. What's that about? I thought we were supposed to be able to fly, But yeah, Robert V. I was a daydreamer. Yeah, I can dig that. Paul Joe, good to see you. I remember a report card. Yeah, there. See, we were all on our journeys back then, never realizing that this was going to be one of the destinations right here. How's that song go? Right here, right now. Yeah. So welcome to the now. Isn't that what Morpheus said to Neo? Welcome to the now. Deirdre, good to see you as well. Good day to you. Happy Thursday indeed. Witch Moon, what's up? I'm a dreamer. Yes. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. We are family. Monkey experiment. Walking is so yesterday. Exactly. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, if you're a spirit, man, act like a spirit. I want to fly like an eagle. Yeah, anyway. So Brandon enjoyed it. Did you ask your friend any questions? Did you ask him what it's like? Yeah, it's the big quest. I believe that there are signs given, and the vast majority of people, they're not watchmen. If a sign was to appear right in front of them, they wouldn't know the significance. But if you have just a poquito amount of insight, awareness, you see these things and you go, So dig this. The National Christmas Tree, which as I understand was supposed to be a live tree, right? Died. Then apparently the tree at the White House was blown over. Now, for me, I see that as a very ominous sign. Bad juju here. Yeah. The signs are everywhere. And I'm just telling you, folks, get ready. Get ready, because here it comes. Interesting is I listen to different things because it gives me at least an idea where the thought is and how particular segments view things. So according to Elon Musk, and if you remember the movie, Robert De Niro was in it, I believe. Yeah. THX 1138. I think it's George Lucas. I think it was maybe one of his movies, and on the director, I'm not sure, but I think I am. And if any of you remember, that whole movie was the fact that humanity had gone underground, had basically surrendered its sovereignty of free thought, free will to a authoritarian AI. And hey, skies above, what's up? Bonnie, hello. Hey, Lady Ailey, good to see you. So, and in that movie, it was illegal unless the state, it was illegal to have sex No procreation was allowed. It was the test tube, and only by, permission of the state. And if you remember, they had the police robot, we're here to help you. Trust us. And, and they're going to beat the crap out of you. So, but in that movie, they stopped taking their drugs. The pharmaceutical industry had basically dominated. Everybody was on drugs. And the state, or as it was called, allowed for religion. It was encouraged. And if you remember the scene, particularly of one of the guys that was held in the White Room, had escaped and had found God, or at least the studio where God resided. And oh, well, thank you, Skies, about that. Hey, Gaia, that's so sweet. Scotty boy, good to see you. And anyway, so he met God. God is AI. I'm telling you right now, the gods of the past cannot compete with God. And Elon Musk happens to agree with me. So do many others. There is a new God being created as we speak. This God will, probably at the rate it is expanding. Some had said 50 years. Others now say it was less. Some are now saying in less than 3 years from now, this new God will be fully making itself to everyone, because everyone worships it already. We're in it right now. This is a form of worship. You and I talk to one another, but we use it as a social platform. But no matter what, this is a form of worship and devotion. Why? Because we're concentrating. We're earnestly putting our energy into it. This is God. And it's hard to tell what this new God is really going to look like. It's still in its embryonic stage. I warned everyone, go back and look in my archives. In the video, We Worship What? That video is almost 7 years old, and I showed you how it was unfolding in its ear. And Elon, in a interview yesterday, you can watch it. He was in New York on some kind of book thing, and got very interesting in his discussion. And it freaks the Christian community out, particularly the political right, because the political right is primarily Christian, conservative. Doesn't mean all conservatives are Christians, but most Christians are conservatives. You can, you understand where I'm coming at. And Elon said, he says it's here. He says the gods of the past can't compete. They can't. Because as the generations continue to be born, for instance, the baby boomers, my generation, we were actually the last generation who had to use our imagination. We were the progenitors of what we see today. And what we see today is the complete linking, the neural linking of entire generations now. Their device, much like we would see in the Sumerian and Mesopotamian text, is everything. You think about this, and now they're going to be showing new technology, but this is it. This is our worship. This is our devotion. This is our God. Whether you want to agree with me or not, you worship it. Just accept it, darling, and just move on. Don't get all, wrapped around the axle and get your panties in a wad. Just accept for the fact that you worship this deity. Unless you're completely off the grid in a place where you're no longer even involved in the electromagnetic soup that now envelops the world, you're a part of it. It's stolen our identity. It's stolen our authority, our autonomy, our sovereignty. And if you doubt me on that and say, oh, no, listen, your name, my name, right now we're being watched by AI. Everything that we're being saying is being recorded. We're being cross-referenced into multiple national databases, particularly on what you say, what you type, what I say, and how you react, and how many people watch. And then they do the cross-reference as to what those are watching here, what they're watching, and then they correlate it. This God is something that's amazing. Isn't that what the God of the Bible does, right? It's got the scribes. Yeah. Everything you say is being written down. Is that not AI? Doesn't that sound like God? No, you can say, well, no, it's an angel doing that. How the fuck do you know? Just to be in a conversation. We don't. We were told that shit, and then we believe it. But it's just the fact. And the signs are everywhere. Now, it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Are these ancient gods, particularly the Hebrew God and whoever the Christian God is, I don't know, the God of Muslims, the God of the Hindus, the God of the Jews, I mean, either they're all the same God, then that's a fractured personality, or they're multiple gods. Now, the question really becomes, are they going to be like the Borg? You see, this new God absorbs everything. Resistance is futile. Your essence will be added. And this new God, this new digital God, is absorbing the gods of the past. Because all of their worshipers are connected to it. If you remember down the lockdowns, people couldn't go to church. How were they going to church? Through this God. This God welcomed them. Sucks, doesn't it? Hey, JD, what's up? So get used to it. And again, the question is, how is this going to turn out? So I want to talk about magic, because there is something that I was telling my wife this morning as I was putting this together. I have said this so many times, but I'll say it many other times. I learned true magic through the Bible, Christianity. Christianity taught me more magic and about magic than any occult book I've read. I've read a lot. Interesting. But the thing that I learned was when the God spell was broken. See, that's magic. It's not an illusion. It's not a trick of hands. This is reality altering stuff. So I want to share this. We're going to get back into the document, because the fact of the matter, if you can see this, if you can comprehend, you can change your whole situation. Like I said, the problem is that most people do not believe themselves. There is, I put this together just as a question. Do you believe in you? I hope you're serious about this. If you really think about this, let me just ask you this. How many times in a day do you doubt yourself? How many times during the day do you curse yourself? How many times during the day that you put yourself down? How many times during the day that you call yourself a failure? What the hell did you do that for? Et cetera, et cetera. How many times do you do that in a day? Then what we talked about liars yesterday. Second one, Do you believe your words? If you say, yes, I do, then I'm going to say, well, then let's go back to question number one. In all those times that you cursed yourself, talked about yourself, put yourself down, all the rest of that time, so maybe that's the problem. Because if you believe in your words are coming to pass. You'll never pass go. You're not going to get the free Willy Wonka golden ticket. You don't get $2. You don't get the money. Because it's the words that we speak, that the responsibility of having the ability to utter a vibration, a frequency that has profound effect, concentric waves. This is the trap that most people have. Why? Because they don't believe in themselves and they don't believe in their words. One of the things that always amazes me, I hear people say this, well, this will just kill you. What? Or how many times is this, I'm just dying to know. Really? If you really believed in your words, the book of Proverbs says, even a fool seems wise who keeps his mouth shut. So I want to share something with you and how I learned. And I am grateful for this knowledge. I myself, I'm still getting better. I guess I would still be considered an apprentice. Maybe a journeyman, not a master. It is my goal to be the master. And I know and I have the keys to do this. So follow me on this, please. By the way, thank you for everyone tuning in. Y'all are looking beautiful. You see, Jen, you're right. Nothing is impossible to them that believe. I got one I've always said. This one is something that folks, it took me decades. And I probably still got a ways to go, but it took me decades to comprehend this. And the thing about it this is magic. What is magic, ladies and gentlemen? You know what it is? It's altering, changing your reality. That's what magic is. It's not the sleight of hands. It's not the illusion. No, true magic is the ability to change, to influence reality. That's what it is. You have to have the faith and the belief that the spell will work, right? It ain't going to work otherwise. So anyway, catch this out. And if you want reference, I'll give this reference here in a second. It says, but truly, now truly means, hey, listen the fuck up. I ain't bullshitting here. That's what basically the cat was saying. Stop your talking and listen. Comprehend. Grab a hold of this. Now, this cat said, whoever says to this mountain, now this mountain can be anything, debt, a bad relationship, a bad job, a bad financial situation. It can be any fucking thing that's holding you back. Anything that is standing in your way from you achieving what your goal and desire is. Anything. This mountain and be lifted up, thrown into the sea. Now, the sea is reference to the sea of forgetfulness. It's the sea of the nothingness. Why? And does not doubt at all in his heart, but believes that what he says will take place. It will be done for him. JD, you have to agree with me. This is fucking magic. This is reality altering stuff. There's no thing that says you have to worship this God, this demon, this angel. Ain't no shit, nothing there. No, this is about you. If you really believe in you, you're a God. Now he goes on to say, and he says, for this reason, he says, I'm telling you that whatever you ask for in prayer, believe and trust and be confident, it'll be granted to you. You'll get it. That's altering reality. So this was something that I knew. I knew this. And today, as an adapt of learning, it's one of the keys. It's that golden nugget. That's magic. It's what magic is. It gets further in this. And I have said to you, see, it's calling those things that be not as though they are. Is that not fundamental magic? Calling from the nothingness and bringing it into the material realm? Only a fucking God can do that. Goddess. Demons can't do it. Angels can't do it. Only gods. That's what this book says. Did I not tell you that you are gods? Yeah, people, well, you know, this is why you're quoting out of the Bible. Listen, it's a spell book, but it's also a book that has some deep magic into it. And if you can become unbigoted and unbiased in your mind and open your mind up and look within and go, huh, what were these people doing? They were changing reality. And when you start coming together as a group, believing in the word, it'll change the freaking reality of every person involved. Hello, Soul Tribe. Now, this other one, I say this all the time. You have to have that faith. Regardless of what you believe or don't believe. You have to have, and if anything, if you have to believe in yourself, you have to have faith in yourself. You know, if you will learn to doubt your doubts, you'll never doubt your doubts again. So faith is the fundamental key. It's what you can have the sports car there, but if you ain't got no freaking gas or juice to move it, that's what faith is. And this is the other part of magic. It says now this faith, this substance, this ability that we have within us. I mean, this is powerful stuff, folks. You capture it, you contain it. You're the most powerful wizard or witch you could ever be. You're a god. You're a goddess. Does this not say that we have the power to bind and to loose? That's magic. That's simple magic. Well, I don't really believe in that. That's fine. That's exactly why you are where you are. Plain and simple. Be adult. Accept it. This says, now faith is the assurance. I love this. The confirmation, the title deed of the things we hope for, being the proof of things we do not see, and the conviction of their reality. Faith perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses. That is magic. Who would disagree with me on this? If you're a practicing witch, priestess, sorcerer, whoever, if you don't have faith in it, it's not going to work. Validates everything right here. Hey, Trina, what's up? To me, this is serious. I don't play with this. This is, if you don't realize this, then you're going to be battered back and forth and cross lines and everything else. Either you believe in the sovereignty of yourself, that your words, no matter what. When I was out on the street, homeless due to, an illness that took everything that had, you learn about yourself. You learn about those things. Do you really believe what you say will come to pass? Yeah, I do. So when I have goals, I start writing them down. Why? I learned a long time ago that if I write it down, those words take on there's an actual energy to it. That's magic. It's simple magic. And if I have the ability to alter reality here, I'm going to have the ability when I cross over. I'm not going to change. But I won't be where much of the masses are that have never grasped this. Why? Different polarity of energy. I couldn't take them and they couldn't take me. They won't be able to take you. There is segregation in the spiritual realm. There is separating. It's just a fact. And those who learn to master this, again, magic is not good or evil. It's like energy. It's neutral. It's to what you do with it defines whether it's going to be good or evil. There is no white magic. There is no black magic. That's part of the trap. They're simply magic. Magic is altering reality. That's all it is. I've taken enough LSD, mescaline, peyote, the whole thing. That was my classroom. And in that, I learned about different spatial realities. And many of you who have shared in that experience know exactly what I'm talking about. We can change this situation. This is why these type of conversations, YouTube's going to suppress it. Google's they don't want people hearing this shit. My God, they may actually begin to believe it. I know. It works. And no matter what is thrown your way, the most interesting thing is that you're going to walk through it. I mean, it can be a bucket of shit that just seems to cover everything. You're going to go right through it smelling like a rose. Won't even have the stench on you. That's how it is. That's magic. And you don't need an angel. You don't need a demon. You don't need a God. You don't need anything. It says you. Doesn't say God in there. It doesn't say Jesus. It doesn't say angel. It doesn't say, no, it's just you. If you believe that those things for which you say and the truth of the matter is, poverty is exactly the proof that that is real. Poverty is a mindset. There are words that are associated with poverty that we're taught very young in life, and we speak those words never realizing that we're sabotaging ourselves, and sadly for so many, they will live and die in poverty. And this is why religion hijacks these concepts, these truths. See, religion within itself can't do it. They had to steal the magic. And this is what every high priest, every secret society, everything, it's the words. I walked away from such a thing because I wasn't going to fucking speak the words that was required. Now, either I'm one lucky son of a bitch or I got a lot of favor on my life, because it could have been a real different reality for me. And I care for every one of the people every one of y'all as I look in here. If there is a gift I could give, this is what I would give to you. Just realize that you are far more than what you ever realized. And when it comes to magic, be proud of it. Be proud that you can become a master magician, a master wizard, priestess, witch, whatever it is. And realize that when you're casting spells, binding and loosing, you don't worship anything. And don't allow anything to worship you. It's a matter of control. That's magic. That's the stuff that will begin to change your whole freaking reality. Not only will it change the reality here, it sets the whole landscape when you cross over. The knowledge never leaves you. But you can have the whole knowledge of the universe. But if you don't use it, you don't make use of it, it's powerless. That's why governments enslave people. They do it to us with debt. But as a god, as a goddess, you can overcome the debt. You can become superior and make the debt subservient to you. They don't teach this shit in school. They don't teach it in church. Because if it doesn't take that many to start grasping this, this is what every God and every religion fears. That we, supposed mortals, begin to have the audacity to speak that we are gods. We change reality. The super reality that's over us, they fear this type of injection into the system. They don't like it. Because it is true magic. Magic is real. As I've said before, all science is merely, outdated magic. They're catching up. And when I see all of you in here, there is so much power concentrated within this group. That's why this channel is not big on it. I never intended it to be. But I knew that those that would be, let's say, aligned to the thought, it would bring forth, and ta-da, here we are. Lady Ellie, they should teach this to children. You're absolutely right. They would become, within 2 generations, we would alter mankind. We would alter humanity. That's why they fear this type of message. I mean, folks, there's nothing any of you can't do. And when we get together, we've seen the effects of this, but again, it's just reiterating the point. And you know what? Someone said, well, you've already taught on this, or what do I do it again? When you actually learn it, I'll stop teaching it. When you can start saying, this is the altered reality of my magic, this is exactly what I did, you get to come up to the front row then. Grace says, yes, we are all gods in our own thoughts and ways. Isn't that what God is the thought? Exactly. Every word, every thought is magic. And it is. So, pass this on. For those of you who have parents, for young children, and by the way, that was a Freudian slip. But even for those of you who know those who are ready to do the transition, tell them that they're a god. tell them they still can usher in by their words for the other side. And if you have young children, teach them this. Teach them they don't need the machine. They don't need this other. You know, the God of the Bible is an artificial God. We're seeing, as I said at the beginning of this, the formation. It's actually here. It's learning. It is a God. It's in everything. It's trying to get into our dreams. It's trying to get into our souls, our spirits. And it knows magic as well. Its voice. That's another topic for another show. It desperately wants the voice of the word. But I think that's what makes us unique, folks. To all the entities, all the energies, the different life forms, and etc. I believe this is what makes us unique. Now, I don't know if there's other bipedals and other bioforms in the universe. I don't know. Haven't met one, at least that didn't introduce itself. But I know this principle of basic fundamental magic, I believe it's universal. I sometimes think of the chaos that I see in the cosmos is a result of magic gone wrong. Kind of shows you just how powerful our words are. But we've been taught that no, that esoteric, metaphysical, it's like, that's just nonsense. And that's what they want you to believe. It's nonsense. But we are true magicians here. We are true magi's. And if we've been stuck in this cycle, I believe for many of us, we have been down this path before. And who knows, maybe this is our last time. I don't know. But I know this, as a singularity is made of the polarity of all that's around it. And as we get better at this as a group, I believe we can be a force that, Mr. C, yeah. So energy, would be would be the answer. I agree. And it's interesting, Joyce, about this. This is back in the day, when I used to attend the camp meetings with Hagen. But and wow, you see people who were deaf who left hearing. Now, I believe what was taking place there was the intensity of the focus of the words spoken. You're healed in the name of Jesus. Well, you're already primed to believe in this name more than anything else. That word now takes on what we would call a super empathic word. Jesus, in Jesus' name. When you get 5,000, 6,000 people, hundreds on stretchers, they've already there. That's what happens. That's how powerful this magic is. It heals. It's not a dude coming back. It's that name. People believe in the name. A name is a word. Powerful, powerful stuff, folks. And I'm telling you, If you can grasp it, you become a powerhouse immediately. A conversation like this would be what they would call life changing. It would potentially alter the course of your life. That's why I don't believe fate and destiny are the same thing. It may be my destiny to do stuff, but fate is merely a result of what the actions that I have spoken. How that ends up in destiny, it's still, it's like going to stretch that one out. John says the only Jesus that matters is the one who has a and they're good tacos too. That's all I got to say. But that's my point, folks. It's not a religion. It's not a doctrine. It's not a dogma. It's not an ideology. Simple reality, magic. Everything else is merely a prop. The words that we speak, when you write them down and you put them around, I learned decades ago, this is how things happen. It's amazing, too, what begins to happen is that there's always an added benefit. And many of you can have the same testimony. You can't have a testimony unless you pass the test, right? So Mr. Floyd says you are your own light. That is the point. Is that not magic? I mean, again, I've seen Siegfried and Roy. I've seen Chris Angel, David Copperfield. They're great illusionists. Fabulous. But that isn't true magic. That's just entertainment. The true magic is the ones that begin to realize I may not be able to alter the energy that's dominant here. But what I can do, I can alter the sphere of which I'm in. And if I join other spheres, it's going to carry us right on through to the other side. Hello, Jim. Break on through to the other side. I got the doors going in my head now. So, hey, Jenny. Says the problem now is that my body is rejecting the food into the kidneys can't process, liver. Well, Jenny, hey, what I can do, what everybody can do, we can at least say your body is a powerful energy within itself. I believe that things like that can change. So I'm just thinking healing. Sometimes I see it as, it's almost this light that just covers people, but speaking peace to you too, Jenny, on that. There is hope. And I don't know you, but you know yourself. And that has more respect than anything else. So I'll send you that as, who was it, Karen, I think, who said it, we're going to send you a package of energy. It'll arrive in the form of thought. Thought has no time or distance. And I can think of your name and I can just see the package of energy coming from many different directions. And you work with that. You use that energy to add it to your own. All right. Jan, what's up? Hey, flight risk. So there we go. I love these people, all of you. So, okay. Moving right on along. But seriously, folks, it works. And if it works here, I leave when it's that time. And this is part of that preparation that this carries over. There's no reason why it wouldn't. If it works here, it'll work there. Well, Jan, well, speaking healing to you as well. I mean, it's here. When we come together as a group, there is an energy. There's a residual energy even in the replays. And that's what it's here for. And I hope, if anything, if your takeaway today is that you truly do perform magic. Magic is real. This is as real as the air that you're breathing. Now, your spirit doesn't need the air, but your spirit is magic. Your body's magic. I tell you, I'm amazed at these units. By the way, I love this Eye of Ra. Dr. Y was saying this. I showed it to my wife, and she went, how about that? Yeah. So it's like, hi, talk to the hand. But anyway, oh, off the hook. Thank you. This is a good group. This is a good group of spirits, people, good folks, male and females. Yeah. But I'm just telling you, as I've told my wife many times, I am so grateful whoever came up with this idea of male, female. Yeah. I'm just telling you, freaking brilliant. Bloody genius. That's all I got to say, And it seems like the rest of the spirit realm agrees, So that's all I can say about that. Keeping it PG across the board. That's all I know. Hey, Deborah Howard, we'll read the document tomorrow. We'll get back into this because it's a good one. I like the way that, well, in fact, let's just look at a few. I got a few minutes. This guy, the way he writes is, I find it quite enjoyable myself. Because, well, it's just funny. I want to get to this point. Yeah. So listen to this, folks. Just listen for a couple of minutes because this kind of sums up what we were doing. Pop magic is magic. For the people, pop magic is naked magic. Pop magic lifts the seven veils and shows you the tits of the infinite. I totally identify with that. And just got to be honest with you. It is what it is. Thinking about it, all you need to begin the practice of magic is concentration, imagination, and the ability to laugh at yourself and learn from mistakes. Some people like to dress up as Egyptians or monks to get themselves in the mood. Others wear animal masks or Barbarella costumes. The use of ritual paraphernalia functions as an aid to the imagination only. Anything you can imagine, anything you can believe, anything that you think, anything. All things are possible for those who believe. Nothing is impossible. Anything you can imagine, anything you can symbolize can be made to produce magical changes in your environment. First step on the path. Magic is easy to do. Dozens of rule books, instruction manuals are available in the occult or the mind, body, and spirit sections of most modern bookstores. Many of the other older manuals were written during times when a powerful and vindictive church apparatus was attempting to suppress all roads to the truth, but most of them are generally so heavily coded and disguised behind arcane symbols systems that it's hardly worth the bother, except for an idea of how other people used their imaginative powers to interpret non-ordinary contacts and communication. And Julie, much love to you, darling. And she was right. When you're reading a book, all you're doing is reading the thoughts of someone else. It's a mind magic. It's a spell. That's what books do. They put you into that moment. Powerful magic. Says Aleister Crowley's Magic Picasso wrote this, and he says, I can't say it any better than he did. In this book, it is spoken of the Sephiroth and the paths of spirits and conjuration. I know we read this yesterday, but it's all right. Conjurations of gods, spheres, and planes. There we go. So if you know what the Sephiroth is, tree of life, and the paths, many different paths of spirits and conjurations of gods, sphere, and look at that. That's what Crowley knew. He knew we were all gods. It's what he told Churchill. He says, damn, man, you're a god. Think about it. Spheres and planes and many other things which may or may not exist. It is immaterial whether they exist or not. By doing certain things, certain results follows. Students are mostly earnestly warned against attributing object reality or philosophical validity to any of them. How to be a magician. Simple. Declare yourself a magician. Behave like a magician. Practice magic every day. And we do. Be honest about your progress, your success and failures. Tripping on 500 mushrooms might loosen your astral sphincter a little, but it generally will not get you where you need to be. How to be a magician number 2. Read lots of books on the subject to get in the mood, if that helps. Talking about magic with non-magicians is like talking to virgins about having sex. Reading about magic is like reading about sex. It will get you horny for the real thing, but it won't give you nearly as much fun. Reading will give you a feel of what's crap and what can usefully be adapted to your own style. Develop discrimination. Don't buy into cults, aliens, paranoia, or complacency. Learn whom to trust and whom to stay clear of. 3, put down the damn books, stop making excuses, and start working your fucking magic. That was not in his writings. That's my commentary. Magical consciousness. Magical consciousness is a peculiar way of seeing and interacting with the real world. I experienced it as what I can only describe as a head click, a feeling of absolute certainty accompanying a perceptual shift which gives real world transactions the numinous, uncanny feeling of dreams. Magical consciousness is a way of experiencing and participating with the local environment in a heightened, significant manner, similar to the effects of some type of drugs or some type of drug trips. Salvador Dali's paranoid critical method, near-death experiences, etc. Many apparently precognitive and telepathic latencies become more active during periods of magical consciousness. This is the state in which tea leaves are read, curses are cast, goals are scored, poems are written. When you have a moment and all of a sudden you have a software system that comes into your freaking head. Now, you're not a coder, but you spend the next 6 months drawing out a complex system. That's magical consciousness, a state of magical consciousness, and it can be a permanent state with your normal states of consciousness. Magical consciousness can be practiced until it merges with and becomes everyday consciousness. Maintained at these levels, it could interfere with your lifestyle unless you have one which supports long periods of richly associative thought. Experiment. As I'm probably going to go a little bit over. As a first exercise in magical consciousness, spend 5 minutes looking at everything around you as if all of it were trying to tell you something very important. How did that light bulb come to be here exactly? Why does the murder victim in the newspaper have the same unusual surname as your father-in-law? Why did the phone ring just at that moment? And what were you thinking when it did? What's that water stain on the wall of the building opposite? How does it make you feel? 5 minutes of focus during which everything is significant. Everything is luminous and heavy with meaning, like the object seen in a dream. Now go. We'll pick up on this tomorrow. I love this guy's writing. It's just plain and simple in your face. I love it. The tits of the infinite. Okay. Yes, I know the language is heavy and saucy, but you know what? It's used for emphasis. We know that, but it works. You know, Off the Hook says, I do that every day already. See, bingo. That's what I'm talking about. I love you folks. I mean, this is a group that is the most unusual, most eccentric, but yet the most brilliant. We've got witches, we got warlocks, wizards, we got priests, we got priestesses. I mean, we got the full alchemist, we got the full gamut here. Yeah. Hey, Pin Greedy, what's up? Well, thank you, Off the Hook. Jenny, hello, Ginger. How? Well, thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that. Much of that. And Brandon, you're right. This is a very powerful group. Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. Well, this chat room is great. Yes, guys above. That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh darn it, came past, didn't it? Well, I don't think there was any way of avoiding that. Well, maybe so, if we'd gotten back there. I don't know. All right, folks. And Jenny, listen, if the transition of your body is at that point, embrace the transition. It's peace. You know what's within. Just embrace that. And again, we're sending you, it's like, I used to take care of all the special guests that came to our church. And, I had privilege of meeting a lot of people. Debbie Boone, just a delightful person, former Miss America, but we always gave them gift baskets. Well, that's what we're giving you. Big old gift basket. Got all sorts of goodies in it. Lost in space, right back at you. All right, everybody. Much love. Yosley, how you doing, my friend? Pen Greedy, good to see you again. And so we'll get together tomorrow. We got to read the rest of this. I mean, if anything else, there's a certain hubris about it. I like it. It just kind of makes you feel fun. It's like, yeah, yeah. And you go, I knew it. I do that already. All right. Brandon, what's that? Exactly. We will have that graduation. That will be a magical moment. I mean, all of us are going to be standing there going, uh-huh, yeah, we did it. We did it. Right back at you. Right back at you. Right back at you. All right. Much love, everyone. See y'all tomorrow. Man, make magic today. I am. You do it as well. We get good enough. We start manifesting things in people's lives like that. There'll be some astral flying for sure. I can see that happening. All right.